But where does Afghanistan stand under 1 year of Taliban rule as of now? Let's get in a sense of perspective. And for that, I'm joined in by my guest, Ambassador M. Ashraf Haidery, who is an ambassador of Afghanistan to Sri Lanka. Ambassador, thank you so much, first of all, for joining my show today. I don't know if you heard what External Affairs Minister of India had to say. He said that this is a relationship which has to be maintained, and that is why India has sent its diplomats to Kabul. A year of Taliban rule has passed, but the country continues to suffer. In your opinion, is this also due to a lack of sustained dialogue and continuous engagement with the international community?
Not really, no. Of course, the international community has engaged with the Taliban for the past 3 or 4 years, encouraging, persuading the Taliban to comply with their own terms under the Doha Agreement, which they have repeatedly failed. Of course, with the U.S. Having complied with theirs and withdrawn their forces, but unfortunately was the Taliban, which didn't wait for the conclusion of the peace talks in order to form an inclusive government that is acceptable to all Afghans, and as well as with our international obligations.
Ambassador, where do the lapses lie?
Last year, the Islamic Republic and basically invaded and occupied Afghanistan as a proxy of our predatory neighbor.
Right, that's why I'm asking, where do the lapses lie as far as the communication is concerned? You said that the international community has been making these sustained kind of efforts. There's a Doha agreement you were mentioning as well, but where are the lapses?
Well, the lapses are completely upon the Taliban. It's just, the ball has always been in their court. They have simply, failed to talk and engage in talks with all Afghan groups in order to form an inclusive government. That deal is still on the table, as we hear from the resistance leaders who continue saying that on the one hand they will continue resisting the Taliban's tyranny. On the other hand, they are willing to talk to the Taliban as long as the Taliban are willing to engage in sincere, meaningful, and genuine peace talks. And that's why your foreign message has said that, the presence of the diplomats in Afghanistan is unpredictable, it's uncertain. You've just sent them to engage with the Afghan people. You didn't say with the Taliban. That's what the Afghan people hope from the Indian government, because India has traditionally been the friend of the Afghan people, so much the regimes such as the Taliban, which have come and gone into power, mostly sponsored by the deep state and our predatory neighborhood.
Right. Ambassador Haidery, ever since the Taliban took over, Afghan women have been systematically disappearing from public life. Is there a greater need for the international community to act rather than merely condemn these atrocities against women in Afghanistan? Because the Taliban clearly don't seem to be changing.
Absolutely. The Taliban have only gotten worse than pre-9/11. We just, experienced the way they've changed, and that's the heading of the Al-Qaeda's leader, Ayman al-Zawahiri in Kabul, which, the Minister of Interior of the Taliban, Sirajuddin Haqqani, have been sheltering and hosting. The women of Afghanistan, not just the women of Afghanistan, but the entirety of the Afghan nation, but especially women, which is more than half of our population, completely isolated, living under a gender apartheid that the international community must tangibly end and hold the Taliban to account under international laws, because it's only in Afghanistan where women are banned from education and from work. This is the only country out of the 190 plus nations in the world that is doing this. So it is absolutely against Islam. It's nothing to do with Afghan culture. It is just a strategic goal, a kind of soft, lethal weapon. The Taliban is a proxy of Pakistan that is using to ensure, that Afghanistan never develops and grows economically on a sustainable basis to be a prosperous, peaceful country in this region. And it's not just, affecting Afghans, but there's implications for the whole region, including India, and that's why India should and must be cautious, as the foreign minister
in fact,
said,
that's a problem.
The Taliban are doing.
Right, that's a problem that's been equally burgeoning as burgeoning as the issue of terrorism in Afghanistan. I'd have spoken about that as well, but I'm running short of time. Let me also thank you, Ambassador, for joining in this discussion. And with that, we quickly slip into a short break. More news and updates.